Hi, ukulele friends. It is time for another ukulele superhero interview, and I want to introduce you to a man I consider a friend, a dear friend, Ross Boyd. We've never met in person, which is like one of the cool things about the pandemic because we've been meeting virtually for months now. And I want you to get to know him and what he's capable of. He's a ukulele superhero in my books because he is a fabulous performer. And I just got his Christmas album and have just been blown away by his arrangements, going, "Oh, that's so cool!" and but he is also a wonderful teacher, and I've been personally gaining experience from watching his tutorials that he has on YouTube. And he's just an all around nice guy who's, spreading the ukulele love and making sure that, you know, people are acknowledged and welcomed into this wonderful community. So, Ross, you're a superhero in my books. But what do you think your superpower is?
Well, thank you so much. I was actually talking to my wife about this because it's like it's hard to when you get that interview question. It's like what are you really good at? It's like, oh geez, oh okay. Well, but I think she's right. She said I am really good at connecting with people and meeting people on their level and with their interests. It's something that I kind of do in life in general, but it's especially helpful as a teacher, especially when I'm working one on one with students, being able to hone in on not only what they want to be learning how to play or what they want to be able to do, but also what they need. So not only connecting with them in kind of a surface level, but also being able to see what they need to accomplish their goals. And I think that's kind of it.
Well, I know I just have felt that special connection with you myself. So, yay, Jamie. You hit the nail on the head there.
Indeed, indeed.
Perfect, perfect. And and I really hope that someday that we're going to be able to meet in person. But until then, um, your YouTube channel, Tiny Village Music, has got some really good tutorials that are, for maybe more immediate, somebody that's wanting to become a more advanced player. There's nice little tasty bits, but then there's also things like you say, oh, and if you want to just stop here, that's it. You can, you know, and I think a lot of people would be really happy with just that first part of the lesson too. So for all people of all levels, I hope that you get go check out his YouTube channel. I'll have a link to it down below. And you also are taking private students,
Mhm. That
and
is true.
you're not just a ukuleleist. Is that a term?
Oh,
Ukulele.
yeah, yeah. An ukuleleist, an ukulist. That is true. My first instrument was piano, and then I took up guitar and tried to play everything with strings, basically. So I teach piano, guitar, bass, ukulele, music theory, and music technology. And my wife Jamie teaches piano and voice. And yeah, we've got a we've got a drummer on hand if you need a drummer.
So if you're interested in anything like that, you go to the tinyvillagemusic.com, correct? And again, I'll have you covered with links down below, folks, so that you can check that out if you're looking for good private instruction. So yeah, in fact, I'm gonna take a few lessons with Ross. Not being a ukuleleist from the get go, I'm sure there's some tips and tricks that I can pick up from him that will make me a better player, and I'm always down for that.
Yay!
Yeah, and so I have recently been listening to your Christmas album, which is available on Bandcamp. Yeah, I'm sounding like a broken record. Yeah,
Yeah, link below.
right, yes, and
I could be your Vanna and just
yes,
down below.
and it's, let's see, the title is A Very Quarantine Christmas.
It's just a quarantine Christmas.
Quarantine Christmas, and so impressed with your arranging skills.
Thank you.
There's such a variety of sounds on this album. uh, talk to us about some of your inspiration.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it started off because I have a Christmas program that I perform live, and it's ukulele and guitar, and it's both songs that I sing and instrumentals that I'll play. And of course, with the quarantine, there are no Christmas shows happening, not live anyway. So we were kind of deciding, oh well, let's do a record instead. We've been meaning to do this. You've already got this program that you perform. Just record that, and it'll just be an easy thing that we can do and put out there. And so I did what I always do and made things more complicated. And so I started off with the arrangements that I would play live. El Noir de la Mer is one that I have been playing for a while now. If I can get the ukulele on, and it's one of those pieces that Segovia has a very influential arrangement of this song. So it just translates pretty nicely to solo ukulele. Just really pretty, really simple, and that's what you get on the album. But then songs like Fum 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 or Deck the Halls, it became, I listened back to the recording and it's like, oh, it sounds kind of empty. I'm gonna throw on some bass. Okay, cool. Yeah, we got some bass now. All right, I'm gonna do a rhythm track. Yeah, all right, cool. Well, I bet I'm missing some of that mid range, that low mid range. Let's record some guitar there. And it just kind of like it's what happens with me. I set out to do a very simple, straightforward thing, and 10,000 layers later, I have a record.
Very good. Well, I'm really enjoying it, and just for those of you that are interested in getting, there's so many tasty bits in this. Some of it sounds very almost like, like you mentioned, the classical guitarist Segovia, very classical in terms of almost like lute like and ancient, and then he'll throw in these little slides. And fum fum fum, and the Italian one,
El
El
Noir de la Mer.
You have that on YouTube as well, correct?
Uh, I think so. Yes, yes. Actually, yeah, I did a tutorial on that one.
Yeah,
I think that was a big one. Like with all of my projects, they
I
they end up bigger than I expected. So I think it's a two-part video. Yeah.
yeah, I saw that on my feed, and I'm going like, you got to take time to do that.
Yeah. All of these tutorials too, that are on the YouTube channel, that all of those videos were born of the ukulele mailing list that I have. And I send out an email every Friday with sheet music and links to other references and stuff like that. So it's not just what you find on YouTube. So you can
And I'm on that.
sign up.
I'm on that mailing
Yay!
list. So sign up, folks. Yeah, get your Tiny Village Music newsletter. And good for you for getting it out every week. I'm notoriously bad about not getting my newsletter out.
It is a challenge for sure, but it's one that I've been proud to kind of address again with the quarantine and everything like that. Having something stable is
Mhm.
really really nice, which is another reason that I appreciate your Friday night jams, because it's something that I can look forward to every week.
Right. So if that's news to you folks, that I do a Friday night open mic jam, we have become like family on this, and we have people from all over the world and all levels, from people that have been playing, maybe a year, maybe not even, to, you know, pros like Ross that are showing up. So,
And
yeah.
that's what I love about the ukulele community, is that you get that kind of mix in your ukulele groups that you kind of don't see in other places. It's rare in other places, but it's just the way ukulele is, and it's so wonderful, and it's why I'm so attracted to it.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I mean, I, well, I guess, yeah, because actually it was a ukulele group that got me involved first. So,
Yeah.
How did you first get involved with the ukulele?
Um, it was years ago. I was working at Barnes and Noble, and Jake Shimabukuro and Israel Kamakawiwo'ole were both like kind of getting some notoriety, and I played guitar, so I'm like, I'll get a baritone, because it's tuned like a guitar. It'll be easy, and I kind of did that for a few years, and then actually on my honeymoon, we were up in Canada, and I found this ukulele, and it's like, all right, I'm getting a ukulele. And it's tenor, and it feels and sounds like a ukulele, and I wanted to play jazz on it. I don't know why. Like the body kind of like tells you the direction I was thinking.
Yeah,
um
kind of
I
guitar, jazz guitar, and those F holes,
exactly, and I wanted to play like
Folks, you don't know what an F hole is? Yeah, that show your
this
ukulele again.
yeah,
That
they're like, yeah,
that's
so we
that
got
cutout
yeah,
design.
yeah, think of cello, think of violin.
I wasn't just being rude.
But yeah, so I wanted to play jazz. I wanted to play like Timo Hussey, and I wanted to do things that weren't uh, that weren't expected on the ukulele necessarily. And there are plenty of people doing that. It's not like there aren't people who are doing that extraordinarily well, but I still get people. Like my mother will still say, "I can't believe you get that sound out of a ukulele." It's like, Mom, have you heard Jake? Come on, don't give me that.
Well, and so many other great players out there. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I got to meet Abe. Uh,
Lagrimos?
I'm yes.
Something like that.
Um,
Ovid.
yeah. Abe
Yeah.
Lagramos Jr. Yeah, phenomenal player and the nicest guy in the world. Like just such an absolute sweetheart. Um, and yeah, playing he's a real jazz guy, and it's really cool seeing that come out of the instrument.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that you also, you're arranging, you also do songwriting.
Yes.
And so I thought for our viewers that we do something together, and you mentioned a little songwriting project.
Absolutely. So songwriting is one of my favorite things to do. Basically, since I started playing music, uh, writing songs was essentially like the center of my world. I don't think I learned as much anywhere else than from writing things that I couldn't play yet. Writing something that was just a little too hard for me, and then having to figure out how to do it. But it just brings me so much joy, and I want to share that joy with other people. So I teach songwriting workshops. I Countless times I've played an original song, and people will come up to me saying, "Oh, I wish I could do that." And it's like, you can. You absolutely can. No, it's not some magical secret. Like you follow a couple steps, and then you just keep doing it until you write something great. So I always kind of joke that, like, I'm not going to teach you how to write a good song. I'm going to teach you how to just write songs.
Yeah, take the pressure off. You're not going to write a good song. You're going to write a song.
Exactly. And anybody who has writer's block, I will tell them, well, write a crappy song. Just write a bad song, and because I bet you can do that, and then you can fix it from there, or that'll just get things flowing, and you can write a new one. So yeah, let's write a song.
Okay.
Okay. First step is usually to pick a topic. We can pick a topic. If I'm working with kids, an animal is usually a good place to start. Pokemon is always a good is always a good direction to go. Minecraft, so forth and so on. But it doesn't have to be an animal. What's a topic that you might want to sing about?
Well, let's see. Actually, animal sounds really good to me.
Yeah.
And seeing how the robins have returned in hordes here.
Yes.
The winter robin hordes have converged here in Mid South. And
Yep.
something, growing up in Alaska, it's like, oh, the first robin is appearing. It was such a big deal, and you'd see a few robins. I mean, a whole flock of robins, like clattering and clamoring and everything and pooping on your car. Like, death those robins.
Well, that's an amazing place to start from. And I just wrote down winter robin hordes converged, and you just start taking notes, and it's like I'll just start writing essays, like what you were saying about seeing the first robin of spring was such a big deal, but seeing so many of them and just this grand convergence is a great place to start. And then later on we can start pulling out things and see if we want to make it rhyme or something like that. All right, cool. Let's talk a little bit more about these robins. Let's get a little bit more information about them and see if we can find the story in there. So it's winter. What are they converging? Is this normal to see them there?
I don't know anything about this because in Alaska they just show, oh look, we saw the first robin, yay, so they must be migratory. And my guess is like it's finally they're getting the robin party, meeting everybody. It's like how'd you spend your summer? Everybody's coming down here where it's warmer. That's why they call people like me snowbirds.
Yeah.
You know that the harbinger of spring is actually a snowbird.
I love it. I love that idea of like a party of robins, and we're getting dangerously close to rockin' robins. So yeah, so watch out for that. But I love that idea of like robins going down, that kind of snowbird vibe, going down south and meeting up with all their friends and talking about what they did this past summer, sharing stories. That's awesome.
They probably have a southern twang, and they're going like, "Hey, how y'all doing?"
I love it. And that could we could give it like the song like a little bit of a country twang to it too, if we wanted to.
These robins are obviously hillbillies.
Yes, yeah. The red belly hillbilly.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, I'm just literally writing down all these ideas, all these little phrases, and we can slowly start piecing it together. So we could do this brainstorming session for a long time. For the sake of time here on this video, we'll kind of cut that off there, and now we'll jump to a little bit of the music piece, and then we'll start trying to marry them once we've got some sort of vibe. So what's a key that you're comfortable either playing or singing?
Oh gosh, well my singing is probably in key of F, so depending. Key of F is pretty comfortable for me.
Yeah, all right, F is great. Yeah,
but A minor is also comfortable.
Okay, cool. Well, I definitely like F. This is feeling like it's not like a mournful sort of thing. So I think we can kind of veer away from A minor. Just probably not a minor type song. So I love the idea of F, and I love, especially as a guitar player, I love F on ukulele. It's so nice. It's like yes, feels just like C.
Right.
All right, cool. So if we're doing if we're kind of giving it that country twang, I think a 1-4-5 feel is probably going to work pretty darn well for this. Yeah, exactly. We got a cowboy strum, right? So we can do some cowboy strumming. Yeah, go ahead and play some cowboy strum for me while I make a couple notes here.
Keep it as simple.
Yeah. With a little flair. I love it. I love that. I love that vibe. When you're dealing with the 1-4-5, it's easy to shift between like rock and roll and country and blues, just depending on how you organize it. So I think that pattern that you just played was perfect. Like we kind of had 2 bars of F, 2 bars of everything, 2 bars of B flat, and then we had the 2 bars of C, and then back to the F.
Back to F.
Yeah.
Don't need to reinvent anything.
Exactly. I love it. That's perfect. Cool. So once I kind of have that, I have this list of descriptors in front of me, all the brainstorming that I've got. So what I'll kind of do is I'll start strumming that pattern and looking at those words that I wrote down, usually honing in on like kind of catchy little phrases that I might have captured, and I'll just start humming a melody as I'm thinking about that theme. So if you wouldn't mind, could you strum that pattern and just start humming? See what melodies start coming to you.
Don't know if I remember it. Something like that.
I love it. That's perfect. Something around there. You captured that. You got that. You got this. That's excellent. I love it. So once we kind of like pinpointed that general melody, we can start applying some words, and this kind of thing takes time to kind of get it just right. So don't be afraid if like the first thing that you come up with isn't brilliant. I'm not saying that what I'm about to kind of come up with is going to be brilliant, but keep your expectations relative. It's like we're gonna put stuff down. We can always edit it later. We've already got a progression that is time tested. We've got a beautiful melody that is sounding really cool and really within that kind of like country-ish kind of vibe. And now we can start throwing some of those words in there. Do a little bit more of that humming for me. Hum that melody just a little bit more for me.
Something like that.
Yeah. All right. So maybe like the robins gather like every year.
They
let's
travel
see.
from the north, and they travel from the north.
Yeah, yeah. Can always pull up one of my favorite things to pull up is rhymer.com. Rhymer.com.
Oh,
So a
I
rhyming
used to have a rhyming
dictionary.
dictionary. I used to
Yes.
have one of those.
They're handy to have, and a song doesn't necessarily have to rhyme, but it can kind of like tie things together, following these particular rules. So if I wanted to find a rhyme for year, I will also think of uh, places. Like where are you located? Without being too specific, I won't write down your address.
I'm in Louisville, Kentucky for the winter.
Okay, yeah. So seeing some robins in travel north to down to travel from the north down to Louisville here.
Down to Louisville.
To,
Louisville.
here.
You say it like a native. Louisville.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Someone from Ontario.
No.
Left the snow.
What was that line about the snow?
Hey y'all, it's a robin party.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
It's a robin party. Billy didn't make it. I guess he's tardy.
I love it.
Hope he didn't get eaten by a snowy owl.
I'm using this. All right, I love it. I love it. So we got Robins gather like every year, travel from the north down to Louisville here. Saw an old friend from Ontario joining us here to avoid the snow. Hey y'all, it's a robin party. Billy didn't make it. I guess he's tardy. Hope we didn't get eaten by a snowy owl.
We have the start of a really good, adequate song.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's all you need. And I think we get oftentimes we can get really hung up on making a thing to present to the world, and music doesn't have to be that. In fact, most music isn't. We are bombarded with performers at their very best all the time. Seeing performances of superstars, and we get it in our heads that that's what music is supposed to be, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be singing about the robins that are outside your door to express that joy and to revel in that joy of seeing these birds, and singing a song, and sharing it with friends, calling family and saying, hey, I see the robins, I wrote this song, and that turns into a memory, and you can share that in the future with friends and family.
Yeah.
That kind of folkness, the idea of folk music and music being part of a community as opposed to this thing that you have to perfect, and it's not worth anything unless it's perfectly polished, and it doesn't have to be that. And I think the more we kind of accept that, the easier it will be for people to sit down and write a song and share it and be with other people.
The robins gather just like every year, travel from the north down to Louisville here. Saw an old friend from Ontario joining us here to avoid the snow. Hey y'all, it's a robin party. Billy didn't make it, I guess he's tardy. Hope he didn't get eaten by a snowy owl. If he's a pellet, well, it's evidence the play was foul.